Well, hello there and welcome to Geordieland 1892. Well, obviously we're in the bar last night and we're watching Newcastle beat Arsenal at the Shamrock pub in Rome. And I was with my mate Shaw, who is a Arsenal supporter and Celtic supporter. But to be honest, there was lots of discussions about last night's game. And to be honest, the two, I think, were a bit worse for wear at the end. But he did put a video up today about his thoughts about what had gone on last night, really. And kind of this is my version of it as well. I think it was a fantastic game last night. Two teams that were pitted up against each other, and it was a battle. It was a battle in a half, and I thought our defence were magnificent last night. It was a massive midfield battle. Arsenal found it very, very hard to break us down, and we found it very hard to break them down. Now, obviously, controversy has... it's just exploded, hasn't it, really, with VAR. And obviously Mikel Arteta has kind of thrown his toys out the pram a little bit. And it's just, I don't know, he is like that. He's a bit temperamental, isn't he? He doesn't like decisions going against him. Who does? It's football and you're out there to win. But at the end of the day, I thought his response really could have been a bit more measured. You don't really see Eddie Howe going on like that. We've had countless VAR situations go against us. I mean, I can name that situation, obviously, in Anfield, where, you know, Isaac was basically ruled offside for a shadow in the light. That was the level of VAR that night. Now, VAR, I think, is a really good idea. I just think that we're using it very badly, and I think the people who use it are basically haven't got a clue how to use it. I would use ex-professional footballers to operate VAR. That's what I would do. Ex-professionals, and I think you would get a better result from ex-pro footballers operating that system. That's my opinion. Now, last night, the refereeing was absolutely diabolical, really. I think from all the officials. And, you know, yes, Bruno Guimaraes should have been sent off, in my opinion. I'm a Newcastle United supporter through and through. I love Bruno to pieces. He's fantastic. But I think what he did last night with that elbow was out of order. But I think also Havertz should have been sent off as well. So, you know, tit for tat. But at the end of the day, when we talk about the goal, now, camera angles were absolutely disgraceful. To be honest, I had been briefly to the toilet, and I actually missed that second where Willock retrieved the ball. I seen him come back in with the ball to cross it. But then on the replays, it didn't look convincing to me with the camera angles. And to be honest, I didn't think Geordieland did anything wrong at that near post when he headed it. A lot of people say pushed into Gabriel. I think he had every right to go for that ball with his head. I think the defender was weak. And that's, to be honest, I think he was weak. I don't think he pushed him over. I think he thought, he's in me back, I think I'll go over and I think I'll get a free kick. And I think that's what it was. If he'd stood taller, the goal wouldn't have happened. Obviously, the first time in VAR's history where 3 counts are being reviewed. Obviously, they were talking about well, actually it was 4, because they were talking about a handball and offside, the ball going out, and a foul. Now everybody's saying 3, but anyway, it must have come down to 3 in the end, because there was never an offside involved in there. So Anyway, there's somebody shouting like outside. I haven't got a clue, some maniac. But, you know, when I look at it, Mikel Arteta, you know, he just makes a tit of himself, doesn't he, really, on these post-match interviews. Whinging and whinging and whinging. You don't see Eddie Howe doing that. Look, where's it going to get him? He's probably going to get a fine for what he said. Now, obviously, come out today, people saying that, oh, the Saudis are bribing the league and all of this bullshit, absolute bullshit. You know, it's just, what crap is coming out of people's mouths. Now, Joe Willock, who I thought was absolutely superb, to run to that corner flag, retrieve that ball, because a lot of players, a lot of your superstars would have just let that go and said, well, it's gone. He didn't. He ran after that. He brought that ball back in, crossed it back in. It was fantastic. But what really upset me was when I heard last night that he was being racially abused on social media. Yes, ex-Arsenal player. The way I look at it, he was kind of forced out of the door, wasn't he? But we've got him now. I don't understand why Arsenal ever let that kid go. I really do not know how that happened, but we have him, and I am so happy that we have Joe Willock. We are so lucky to have that player in our squad, and to be racially abused by Arsenal supporters on social media was disgusting, and the language that was used, racial language, racial abuse, it's just not on. It's not on, and I hope these people are brought to boot, and I hope that they never are able to go to a football match again. There are probably people who don't go to football matches because they just sit behind their keyboard and abuse people because they're cowards. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about all Arsenal fans there because, like I say, I know a few, and they're canny lads. And to be honest, we're probably talking about 2% of people. You know, just there's, like I say, there's no need for it. And, you know, I am not having a go at the Gunners on the whole. I'm talking about these two people who obviously thought it was a good thing to post this really, really terrible kind of racism on social media. Enough of that anyway. I've given them far too much time. I thought, like I said, I thought the game last night, I thought it was intriguing. I thought it was a massive battle. I thought it was fantastic to watch, trying to see how either team was going to break each other down. You know, it was a grind. It was a tough game, and you know, at the end of the day, Newcastle get a goal. It's controversial, but hey, that's football. That is football. It's always been like that. There are thousands and thousands of different situations and scenarios through football that we could go through. I mean, I'm just going to go back to the Borussia Dortmund game. Newcastle were absolutely screwed by the referee. They got their goal. They beat us 1-0 at St James's Park that night. And, you know, it was a blatant foul on Anthony Gordon. And the referee was right there in front of him, and he didn't blow. And I was absolutely livid. They scored, and then they just sat back, and we had to attack them while they defended for their lives. We hit the bloody bar twice. We threw everything at them. But that goal should never have stood because it was a foul. And the referee, right in front of him, like I said, didn't blow. So, you know, we've been aggrieved just lately. And, of course, Arsenal feel aggrieved to that. We've stopped their unbeaten run, which has obviously hurt them. And, hey, look, this game between Newcastle and Arsenal, or Arsenal and Newcastle, in recent years has been a bit feisty. And I think you know, anybody who watched that game last night, but there wasn't many goals in it, but it was a very tactical game, and hey, I thoroughly enjoyed the game, and obviously when we got the goal, I was even happier. But poor old Shaw last night, who I was watching it with, I mean, he was pretty peed off with that decision. For me, looking at it today, when you look at certain things, yes, it looks like the ball is out. But then our rules in football these days are not really very well clarified, in my opinion. Why should a percentage of the ball, if a percentage of the ball is over or not the full ball, why can't we just make a rule that if the ball is basically over the white line, it's out? I don't know, we're pissing about with fractions here all the time. It's like when we take a corner these days, the ball is never inside that area. It's kind of balanced on the outside because the ball is touching the white line. Let's make a different rule. Let's try and make it more clear, and I think we'll be all right. I mean, if you put the ball on a penalty spot for a penalty, it has to be on the penalty spot. It can't be left or right or further forward. It has to be on that spot, doesn't it? But it's just common sense, really, and we could avoid a lot of trouble. Like I say, it is what it is. Newcastle have won 1-0. I can't apologise for it because I'm a Newcastle United supporter, and if it had been the other way around, yes, we would have been livid. We probably would have been complaining. We definitely would have been. Irate about it. The difference is, I don't think Eddie Howe would have quite went on the way Mikel Arteta did, and that's probably a difference in culture. No, it is, because a northern mentality and a southern mentality very different, and I know that because I work in a foreign country. I work with different nationalities every day, and I can see that some cultures are explode, some people are more reserved, and that's all I'm saying. Okay. But last night proved that Newcastle United, in the situation we are at the minute, with all our injuries, you know, we're a hell of a team. Hats off to the lads last night. What a performance. It was fantastic. And by the way, St James's Park, Fortress, and the fans, our fans, the noise and everything that got behind them, it's unbelievable to watch. It's fantastic. And it must be frightening for an opposing team to go there. It really must. Those shouts, the noise that gets, you know, our lads can, it's unbelievable. Anyway, more to come. And Borussia Dortmund on Tuesday on the early kickoff, and let's hope we can get a result in Dortmund and hopefully silence the yellow wall. Let's get them back for the other week. A great result last Wednesday against Manchester United. I mean, really, with an A, B and C team, and we strolled it 3-0, upsetting them. Great, it's great stuff, and it's a great time to be a Newcastle United supporter. It really is. And like I say, you know, I started supporting them in 1978. It was the first game I went to, and you know, it's great to see Happy Days back in the tune and at St James's Park. Anyway, listen, I'm going to leave it there because I've clattered on a bit, and like I say, 1-0 to Newcastle last night. Like I say, it'll work in roundabouts throughout the year. We probably will get some bad decisions throughout the season. Hopefully not, but that's the way it is. Anyway, from me, keeper on Geordieland 1892, I just want to bid you good night, and you know, have a look at Shah's video, because it is very, very good, and he's very complimentary about Newcastle fans and the club. He's a sensible guy, and he knows his stuff. Anyway, all the best from me, and please remember to subscribe, please remember to like, and all the best. Good night.